The New York Post reports that U.S. Representative Paulina Luna is calling on NASA to release previously unseen photos of the interstellar comet Atlas 3I after the object reportedly changed color for the third time. According to NASA, Atlas 3 was discovered this past summer using the Atlas telescope in Chile. This is the third interstellar object ever recorded to pass through our solar system. The U.S. Space Agency asserted that this comet poses no threat to Earth. The discovery quickly attracted the attention of scientists and the public. On social media, many controversial hypotheses appeared, some even suggesting that Atlas III could be an artificial object or a probe from an extraterrestrial civilization. Due to its unusual orbit and chemical composition, Ken Gay, an astronomy professor at the University of Iowa, said he is closely monitoring the phenomenon as it could yield valuable clues about interstellar matter and the origins of the solar system. He shared a humorous and suggestive view of this curious phenomenon: little green men with big eyes and flying saucers. Well, maybe not. But I have to admit, this is an extremely interesting discovery. According to him, comets from outside the solar system have always been a subject of scientific imagination and passion. Every time an interstellar object appears, it immediately sparks a wave of interest from serious scientists to science fiction and conspiracy theorists. It's hard to determine exactly where the science ends and the imagination begins. He added, Ken Gay asserts that scientists still maintain the view that Atlas 3I is a natural object, and the research process is underway based on that assumption. However, he does not rule out the possibility of a different direction if in the future there is strong enough evidence to show that this comet is not simply a natural product. With its strange orbit and difficult to explain chemical properties, Atlas III continues to be a fascinating mystery, opening up not only scientific questions, but also unexplored mysteries about life and intelligence beyond Earth. To better understand the appeal of Atlas IIII, it is first necessary to know what a comet actually is. Although often shrouded in mystery in science fiction stories, comets are in reality giant ice blocks drifting in the universe, mostly made of water ice mixed with carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and other forms of ice gas. As a comet approaches the sun, the intense heat causes the ice on its surface to evaporate. This releases the dust and gas that has built up inside, creating the characteristic brilliant tail that makes comets one of the most spectacular phenomena in the night sky. Sunlight not only makes them shine, but also pushes dust and gas away, forming a long streak of light, like a glowing silk strip in space. However, hidden behind that beauty are ancient messages from the universe. Scientists believe that comets contain pristine materials left over from the dawn of the solar system, acting as time capsules to help humanity understand how planets, including Earth, were formed. Therefore, every time a new comet appears, especially an object from outside the solar system like Atlas IIII, it is not only a beautiful sight, but also a rare opportunity to explore our own origins in the vast universe. Comets with the symbol 3, like Atlas. 3I are actually visitors from outside the solar system, ancient messengers of the vast universe. Although they were only discovered by humans in 2017, thanks to the great advances in astronomical observation technology, they have actually been wandering in the galaxy for billions of years before accidentally stopping by our space. Scientists say that these comets can originate from any star system we see in the night sky. Each of these lost guests carries a unique chemical signature formed in conditions completely different from the environment of the solar system. Therefore, studying them not only helps humans understand more about distant star systems, but also opens up clues about the diversity of matter and structure in the entire galaxy. Interestingly, like the exoplanets that humans have recently discovered, these interstellar comets are completely different from what we know. If exoplanets have proven that the universe does not follow the template of Earth or Jupiter alone, then 3 interstellar comets, including Atlas III first, continue to defy all current understanding. They are unlike any other comets recorded in the solar system, different in composition, color, orbit, even the way they react to sunlight. It is this difference that fascinates scientists, but at the same time also raises countless mysterious hypotheses. Are these objects completely natural, or are they the remains of a distant civilization that once sent icy messengers across the universe? While the answer is still unclear, one thing is certain. Each interstellar comet is a message from out there, giving humanity a rare opportunity to look back at its own place in the endless sea of the galaxy. To indulge the imagination of those who believe that Atlas III I could be a man-made object, scientists have posed a question: if it is real, what kind of evidence do we need to prove it? A seemingly fantastical yet intriguing question. First of all, if this were an artificial spacecraft, we would expect it to be able to generate its own propulsion moving without depending entirely on the sun's gravity. However, what is interesting is that natural comets can also push themselves in a similar way. When the ice on the surface evaporates under the sunlight, the escaping gas creates a slight reaction force, enough to slightly change the comet's orbit. Therefore, even if Atlas III I moves in a direction that does not completely match the gravitational predictions, this phenomenon can still be explained naturally. The curious point is, astronomers have not observed a clear evaporation process on Atlas IIII, although it still exhibits a motion that looks like it is being pushed by some force. It is this phase shift that raises the question of whether this is a rare physical phenomenon or a sophisticated artificial propulsion mechanism from another intelligence. In the previous 2 interstellar comets, scientists could clearly see vaporized material, which helped them identify a natural source of propulsion, but Atlas IIII is different. Although it is thought to have a slender, elongated shape, reminiscent of a rocket or spacecraft, it still exhibits behavior that is difficult to explain using conventional comet models. However, recent observations have shown that later interstellar comets have more normal shapes, making the alien spacecraft hypothesis less certain. But it is this contradiction between natural and artificial, between hypothesis and evidence, that has made Atlas III an unsolved mystery, where the boundary between science and fiction is only a very thin line. What makes Atlas III so special and intriguing to scientists is its unusual chemical composition. According to the latest observations, the outer shell of this comet is almost entirely made of carbon dioxide, also known as dry ice. This material is so familiar that we can see it at parties, creating a hazy, cold haze. But it is extremely rare in comets in the solar system. Scientists say that Atlas III's surface is rich in pure carbon dioxide, which is unusual because comets that humans have studied recently tend to contain water ice, silicate dust, and complex organic compounds, not nearly pure CO2. This finding raises the possibility that Atlas III originated in a completely different star system where the conditions for forming matter were not the same as around our sun. However, There is also an alternative explanation that leans more towards galactic physics, interstellar comets like Atlas 3. I have been wandering through space for billions of years, long removed from any parent star system. During that enormous time, they are subjected to intense radiation from cosmic rays, high-energy particles traveling near the speed of light, constantly bombarding and chemically altering their surfaces. On Earth and in our solar system, we are protected by the sun's magnetic field and solar wind, but out there in the cold depths of the galaxy, there is nothing to shield rogue comets like Atlas 3I from such devastation. According to astronomers, it was those cosmic rays that may have converted the carbon monoxide CO and water H2O in the comet into carbon dioxide CO2, leaving its surface covered in a layer of dry ice, a chemical mantle recreated by the universe itself. But even taking that process into account, the interior of Atlas III, I still bear signs that cannot be fully explained. This has led many to believe that the comet formed in a completely different chemical environment, perhaps around a rare star, or even in an extremely cold region of space at the edge of the galaxy. From there, Atlas 3I is not just a piece of ice wandering through space, but maybe an ancient message engraved in the chemical language of the universe, carrying the story of a distant world that humans have never known. In a new development, REP, Paulina Luna said she had just had a conversation with NASA about the interstellar comet Atlas 3I. According to Luna, as soon as the government reopens, NASA will release official images and data of this object. She also revealed that NASA believes Atlas 3I is just the beginning, as modern observational technology will help humans discover more interstellar objects in the near future. Professor Ken Gay from the University of Iowa commented, "We don't know what Atlas 3I can teach us until we decode the story it carries." He said that every object from outside the solar system is a natural message about the environment and formation of distant star systems. With the Vera-C Rubin telescope coming into operation, humans will have the ability to detect interstellar comets 10 times more than today. Atlas 3I is just the tip of the iceberg. Ken said, over the next decade, we'll likely find dozens of these objects, each telling a story from the far reaches of the galaxy. If you want to follow this story as it unfolds, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications for this channel. I'll be making follow-up videos as new data becomes available. Leave a comment below and let me know. What do you think we'll learn about this interstellar visitor? Did it survive perihelion intact? Or are we about to witness a fragmentation event? I've read all the comments and I'm really curious what you think